It's time for a healthy dose of According to the Cassels. And now, please welcome your hosts, Amy and Trey Cassels.
Today I have Andrew Brockenbush and John Kelley. I said your name right?
Yes, you said it right.
Okay, all right. I was like actually
You're like,
getting a
now you're
little
like
nervous.
thinking about it.
Yes. So Trey's not here today. Trey had a meeting, and it worked out perfect because he was on my nerves anyway these past couple of days.
So much more important than us. But...
So I was like, you know what? Go to your meeting. It's great. I've got two other guys that can come on.
Yes. Sorry, Trey. Replaced you. It was really easy.
Absolutely.
So, okay, I want to tell and brag about both of you for a moment. So, Andrew, I'll start with you. So, now I'm stumbling over the words in my head. Okay, marketing strategist.
Strategist.
Oh, dang it! I'm thinking strategic.
Strategic. Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. But
yeah,
strategist. Okay, duh.
Yeah.
Marketing strategist, brand developer, educator, entrepreneur, and podcast producer. He's also the owner of Beefy Marketing and the host of the Beef Podcast and a co-host of Big Man Fitness.
Yep.
And we also have John Kelley here, and John Kelley is a marketing advisor. He is the owner of OMG Event Co., also the podcast co-host of The Beef and the co-host of Big Man Fitness, and a very important job is a lieutenant for the Tomball Fire Department.
That's it. A lot of things.
We have a
behind our
lot of
names.
titles.
Yeah.
I know. Geez, y'all need like a really big resume. They can't fit everything on your Instagram, can they?
Not at all.
Oh,
no.
absolutely.
We have to like rotate out our jobs depending on what we're like interested in that month. So
the reason why I wanted to have you guys on here is because I'm so inspired by anybody who all of a sudden just decides, okay, enough is enough. I'm ready to get my fitness and my health in order and make some changes, and you go after it and do it. And there have been many times in my life where I've been pregnant or had surgery and I had to take a period of time off. And every time that I came back, even though I was a fitness trainer, teaching fitness classes, I was still scared and intimidated and also fearful that I wouldn't get my body back. Like those are real emotions that even I was feeling. And you guys have been working through the years and your health has just kind of gone through a different path, and now you've come back.
yeah.
And I want to hear more about it. So why tell me some of your journey. Like tell me your story. Like what were you like as a kid?
So I've always been kind of chubby. Like I come from we call it a big boned family.
Mm-hmm.
Like we stress eat, like we're all chunky. Actually my sister, who's like extremely healthy now, who I think actually has been talking to you via Instagram or something, Robin.
Okay.
She was morbidly obese actually when she was like a teenager. And then she she went on the extreme side with like eating disorders to try to like change her image. And now she's somewhere like landing in the middle, right? She's like way healthier, but she still struggles with those things. And so like we kind of grew up with that always being a challenge. It's like eating for stress, eating for fun. Like eating is like something that we do not necessarily for substance or like health reasons. We just eat because like we like to eat. And so I've never been like this guy with abs or anything like that. Like me and John have known each other for a very long time. We used to work for the city of Waller together. Mm-hmm. And back in the day, Arby's used to do this like 5 for $5.
Oh yeah.
Like menu. It was
those roast beef sandwiches.
Oh,
I did grow up on those with that cheese sauce.
Yes, the cheese sauce. And so me and John on like when we were supposed to be working at the city would go and both probably spend $10 each and just have like 10 of whatever item.
With
like,
the Arby's sauce?
Oh, with the Arby's sauce, the curly fries.
You can do 2 roast beef sandwiches, 2 fries, a vanilla milkshake.
Yeah, exactly. We would throw down. So like health has never been something that was like a priority for me. I wasn't extremely athletic. I did play soccer a little bit. I played tennis a little bit, which are pretty athletic sports, I guess. It's like a lot of running, but like I was never amazing at any sports. So I've always found it to be.
They made it equal opportunity for you.
Yes, absolutely. You know, like it was back whenever they started giving out participation trophies. So I mean, like I had to be accepted into this, and so I've never found it easy to like lose weight or even prioritize my health. Like it was something that I'd like really work for as I grew up. Yeah. So,
what about you?
I think for me, it was probably a hard time for 2 reasons. First of all, when I was growing up, I was extremely athletic. And I played baseball constantly, so I could eat. I mean, I'd be 5, 6 years old going through the line at Luby's with a tray just full of food. And then people would look at me like, where are you going to put all that? and I would just plow through it all, eat every single bit of it, and then be just fine. I was, this big around, long blonde hair, athletic, playing baseball. And then in 6th grade, I had to have surgery. So I was always a toe walker. And because I was a toe walker, my Achilles tendons did not stretch and grow like they were supposed to when you're 10 to 12 years old. And it caused severe leg pain. And because of that, they had to do surgical intervention and actually extend my Achilles tendon. And it took me down for 6 weeks. The doctor said, there's no way he's going to walk within the next 3-4 weeks. He's going to have to be on bed rest. And after the first time my uncle took me to the bathroom in his arms and had to pull my pants down and set me on the toilet, I was like, this is not going to happen anymore. So I got up, I started walking quicker than they expected. And I was like, hey, I'm ready to go back to baseball. Like, I got this. It's no problem. And the second I got out on the field, man, it felt like somebody was ripping my tendon apart.
Oh.
I couldn't do it anymore. So that's when I kind of switched to fine arts and went into band and theater and all that stuff through middle school, junior high, high school. And I just kind of got out of that athletic mode, but I still had that in my mind. Like you said, I eat because it's fun. I eat because I enjoy food. I don't eat, or I didn't at the time eat because of, well, there's sustenance I need and I'm going to eat just what I need. And it was just for fun and enjoyment. And I still had that mindset. So I still ate constantly, but I wasn't as physically active as I am now and as I was prior to that surgery. And then, getting out of high school, even though I was bigger in school, I was never a little guy. Like you said, we grew up the big guys in school.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I wish I could be fat like I was then.
Yeah, like it was a different type of fat, right?
Yeah.
Like,
It's totally
I
different.
was like at 180 and I was like, oh, I'm so fat.
Exactly.
Now I'm 270. I'm like, oh God, like what happened? Yeah.
No, it's true, man. But and then I got out of high school and it was so easy when you're broke and you're working at Domino's to eat pizza every day.
Yeah.
And just calorie load. And I got used to those 2,000 calorie meals, not days, but meals.
Yeah.
And
My first out of high school, first job was Chick-fil-A. And it was like, come on. I'm
Have
just
a
like,
blessed day.
the Lord's
Yeah,
chicken.
exactly.
Yeah. You got to eat the Lord's chicken all the time.
I was eating so much Chick-fil-A. Like, I don't even like Chick-fil-A as much anymore, which I know I'm supposed to say that. People are going to judge me. But
I'm with you.
Like back then I was like obsessed and now I'm like, Like,
I got to get Evan off. I've looked at how much we've spent at Chick-fil-A and I'm like, oh my gosh. Because Evan will eat a meal before karate and then afterwards he's like, oh, can we get some Chick-fil-A? And Trey's a sucker. He'll drive him
Like,
through
yes, let's
Chick-fil-A.
do it.
And Evan is like, come on, we need some Christian chicken. We need some Christian. He's like, Jesus wants us to eat that Christian chicken. And I'm like, oh, geez, Evan.
That's
so funny.
awesome.
I think your brain just anybody's brain gets kind of addicted to the taste. There's something in it. I mean,
there's so many chemicals.
There's
that I'm sure we're
chemicals in
addicted
it.
to, yeah.
Yes, that's tapping into a certain area of your brain. It's like AI food, artificial intelligence food or something. And it causes you to crave it and it changes your taste buds. And they don't want, then if you eat an apple, it's like, it's too sweet. It's a tart sweet. And it's
not the same kind of sweet.
It's not the same type of sweet as the sugar sweet.
Yeah.
And you crave those things. But John, one time you and I were talking and it was before a podcast and you said something that kind of triggered me to really think about this in many people's lives. You were told at an age that you were a big guy. You were told that were you told that you were overweight? Were you told that you were fat?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All my life.
So this is something that you believed about yourself and eventually you became what people told of you because you believed it. And this is something that I've talked about before with friends, or Trey and I will talk about it. The things that we say to our body in our mind, our body is listening. And even my kids will sometimes say something and I'm like, hey, take that back. Your body is listening to you.
Right.
And you've got to think about it that way. Like, your cells are always listening to you, whether you're speaking something out loud, which there's more energy to that, versus even if you're just thinking it. And if somebody else speaks it over you, then that even penetrates deep into your cells.
Yeah.
I'm always careful about what I allow someone else to say about me. I mean, they can say what they want behind my back. I'm not going to know. But even like doctors, think about, people will allow doctors to say, you won't be able to do this or you won't be able to do that. It's like, I'm sorry, are you God? Did you speak those words over me? And people just do that all the time. So why did you decide to start getting into shape? Why did you decide to just like say, okay, let's do this. And y'all teamed up.
Yeah, we did. So, I mean, obviously, this is not the first time either one of us have done this throughout our lives. I mean, when you spoke that kind of, word over your life, like your whole life, like, oh, you got man boobs, or, you're a big guy. Like you said, you do get to the point where you just kind of own that. Like, it's like it's your brand.
Yeah.
And like, I still do sometimes, like, oh, we're big boys, or we're big guys.
That's why we started Big Man Fitness.
Exactly.
I mean, it's exactly why.
Absolutely. And so both of us, I think separately in our journeys, have both like kind of really struggled like this like roller coaster ride of like being extremely, lean, but maybe not doing it the healthiest of ways. Like I know that I like just like ate like absolute garbage one time, like I say garbage, like I ate like not enough calories and I lost a ton of weight. Like I was like, oh, my lowest weight, I'm 215. I was like, yeah, but you're not healthy. Like you don't have a lot of muscle. Like you just lost weight in a really extreme way. And then I've lost weight like more like the proper route, like eating good nutrition and working out. And I just always find it hard to stay like disciplined enough to keep at it. And so when we started kind of working here, we realized that we're eating out like every single day.
Oh my God.
Like we'd, both of us are grabbing breakfast before we get here, and then we're eating lunch out. And then it's like, oh, well, now it was a late day in the office. It's 7 o'clock. I'm going to grab food on my way home. And it's like, holy crap, like we're eating out a lot. And like we're meeting with people, we're at networking events, like we're constantly going. And eventually you start to have like lack of confidence, and like you're physically, it's hard. Like you're just like, oh my gosh, like I'm out of breath, like I'm out of energy. You're sweating in a meeting. Like that's so embarrassing. Like it's not a good feeling to be like seeing pictures of yourself in a networking event and like be like, oh my God, like why do I look like that? Especially with the idea that like I know what I need to do to not look like that. And so I think me and John were both just like, hey, like we know how to do this. We just need accountability. Like we need someone encouraging us.
Yeah.
Who's speaking positivity over each other's life.
Because it is scary. It's
very scary.
Especially if you've attempted to do it and you weren't successful for a long period of time.
Yeah.
You did it till you got some results. I mean, losing 10 to 15 pounds is like, it comes off like that.
Yep.
And then, but when you push past a certain number, there's a level where you come out and you never want to go back.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's what I'm excited to see you guys come to, where to a point where you're like, I will never go back. Yeah. And that line is really different for each individual.
Yeah.
So being where you were through your life, it was almost like it became your identity. And then it sounds like you almost made it a positive thing. You turned it into a positive.
Absolutely.
To make a joke of it, make it funny, but deep down inside, it's as you get older, any of this stuff is going to affect you negatively. Like, I mean, really just in your soul, deep in your soul.
Yeah, there's a lot of pain there. Like, I don't think we admit to it, especially like guys, like it's easy to be like, no,
toughen up, who cares?
Whatever. Like I'm just a big dude, whatever. But I think to be honest with ourselves, I think at the end of the day, there's this certain level of like, I don't want to be looked at that way. And if I am looked at that way, I want to be looked at it in a different context, right? Where they're like, oh shit, like that's a big guy, but like he's strong or healthy or whatever. Like I want that connotation and not the connotation that currently exists. And, that's hard. It's hard to get past that. And even though we've done it before, like you said earlier,
You're gonna make me cry.
Oh yeah. After you had kids and you were a trainer and you knew what it took to do these things, even for us, like we know how to work out. Like John's a firefighter. I was a firefighter. Like we know what we have to do to sustain our bodies, to lose weight, to be healthy. But there's a lot of life that happens at the same time.
Yeah.
And life is, for me, I can only speak for myself. Like I struggle, open about this. Like I struggle with a little bit of depression, anxiety. And I think that stuff just like weighs on you. And then so I think at some point you start picking your battles. Like, it's like, I just don't care about my health anymore, because it's overwhelming to try to manage that and also manage all these other areas of your life as well.
Yeah.
And so I don't know the answer to like solving for that. I just know that like you have to try sometimes. You just have to do something.
Yeah.
And that's what me and John were doing.
I think the big part is that it's easy, but I think it's a cop out to say, it's just so easy to just not care. It's not that it's just easy. It's the fact that it truly is, in your mind, better for you at that time.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I am so stressed with work, and I am so stressed with these internal struggles, and I am so stressed with losing, a parent or whatever the case may be. I mean, God knows we have excuses that we can line up.
For sure.
And so it's just like, you know what? It's not only that it's easier, it's just better for me in this moment to let that go and have that thing easy, because everything else is so hard right now. Yeah. And it's so sad because when you get overweight to that extent, and not just overweight, because I don't care if you think I'm fat, you can think I'm fat all day long, but I can put on that gear and outwork you on a fire ground 9 out of 10 times.
Which is so impressive.
Right. And so I'm like, as long as I can do that and feel comfortable and not out of breath and want to die, as long as I'm healthy and my numbers look good and I'm going home to my kids at night and I'm not winding up in a hospital, honestly, my shift to that mindset is what's kind of really helped me stay motivated. Plus, you know, you always griping at me, we gotta go to the gym every day, but it helped me shift to that mindset of I'm not worried about the scale anymore. I'm not worried about the number on my pants. I'm not worried about those things so much. Like, I want to see those come down, and it's definitely rewarding when I see it. But what rewards me the most is when I see the picture difference between me a year ago and me now, or when I feel different on the fire ground, or when I feel different going to a doctor and knowing that my numbers look good, or, you know, those kind of things just kind of help me to stay motivated. Of it is easier, because when you're already going through depression, anxiety, having all that extra weight is just going to make all of that stuff worse. Sure. And you think you're taking it easy on yourself, but you're actually not.
Yeah.
And some people are really good at managing their anxiety and depression with exercise. That is their medicine.
Yeah.
But that's not everybody's medicine.
I wish.
And it would be a great, well, you know, that can be detrimental too. I mean, there's exercise addiction. That's a whole other, that's a whole other area,
right?
and they're breaking down their bones, and, you know, things are starting to deteriorate. But, we had Stacey Elliott on last week, and we talked about emotions and how to release them. We didn't exactly go into too much detail on how to release them, but that's what she does. And food has been a huge mask for depression, anxiety, and especially for men. Men are really only taught that it's okay to show anger or show some, maybe a little bit of depression. But if you show anxiety, if you show fear, if you show like, oh, my feelings are hurt, then you're just like a little wimp.
Yeah.
So women were better at identifying the emotions and then expressing it. Men are kind of like, they shove it down and then it comes out in other ways. It's gonna come out. You squeeze one side of the balloon, I mean, it's going somewhere.
Yep.
So men have to also look at like what things went on in their life that they have emotions that are stored that they need to release. Because if you don't, then it's going to come to the surface like a septic tank. We talked about this last week. You have a bunch of crap at the bottom of the septic tank, and it's all that stuff at the bottom is just all the shit.
Yeah, exactly.
and it settles. It settles at the bottom. But there are triggers. And these triggers are like taking a stick and sticking it in the septic tank and then stirring it up.
Yeah.
So you're going to have triggers. They're going to come in and stir up the crap.
Yeah.
And that is whenever it's going to detour you from many of your health goals, especially when food, which is the antidote to exercise, or is the opposite of the exercise, right?
Yeah.
That depression or anxiety is going to trigger you to do the things that are then going to cause you to have the shame and the guilt, which are going to make you not want to exercise. And boom,
vicious cycle.
It is a crazy, vicious cycle.
Yeah.
It's a condition, you know, and I don't know exactly what condition it is. I don't know if it's like an ADHD symptom or what it is, but it's kind of like if you're laying on the couch in your living room and your living room is a mess, and I've been here, and you're like, man, I really need to get up and clean this living room because it's pissing me off. You know, I hate it. I feel bad. But then you're like, because I feel bad, I don't have that energy to get up and clean it and do something about it. So I'd rather just lay back on the couch and go to sleep. And then you wake up and you're right back in that cycle. And it's the same thing with food. Like right now, if we were having a bad day, what would make our day better?
Yeah, go just binge.
Let's go to a brewery, or let's go to a food park or something, and let's eat and drink.
Even before we came, we were like just on a normal basis, like, hey, let's go like binge at a Chinese food
it would be
buffet.
So great to just hit that Chinese buffet right
This
now.
is why food allergies are actually a good thing. Because I could never go to a China. I would be vomiting like crazy because they put soy sauce in everything.
I love soy sauce.
We are naturally hungry guys. I'm not going to say fat. We are naturally hungry guys.
Yeah.
But I think that, you know, you start to identify that about yourself, though. You can start to have, like, I guess, better conversations with yourself. Like today, we were like, hey, what would happen if we went and ate at a Chinese buffet today? Would we enjoy the food? Hell yeah. but then we have to go to 9-round later this afternoon.
Ugh, yeah.
How are we going to feel after
Oh, there's
eating
no way.
30 pounds worth of Chinese food?
You would be
Yep.
burping it
We'll
up.
be miserable. Like,
Yeah.
we're not going to perform at our best. We're not going to enjoy the workout. We're not going to get the best out of the workout. It doesn't matter if we burn the calories because all we're doing is getting back to like a net zero, right? So it's like you start to realize kind of the consequences and you start to have those conversations with yourself. Like, okay, maybe we shouldn't do that. You know,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean I'm not going to go eat bad today. I'm just saying I'm not going to eat that bad. Like,
That's good. I mean, that's
not-
learning to be accountable for your actions.
Yeah.
And accountability is a huge thing. And a lot of kids aren't taught that. So that's
100%.
good. Okay. So 90 days, y'all been doing this for over 90 days now,
I'd
right?
imagine so. Yeah, probably so.
I think probably
Well, right at
we kind of hinted around the idea right before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
And then we kind of went off and on. Yeah, it was kind of like a flirtatious relationship. You know, we were seeing other
Hey, how you
people,
doing?
but you know, we kind of started, stopped, and I mean, the holidays hit. I think January is
Ooh.
probably when we really made that commitment of like, we're going to 9-round every day that we can, and we're going to start eating some healthier stuff and get some
Yeah.
fruits and veggies in the office instead of, you know, beer and Cheez-Its.
Yeah, for sure. Like I even like the last time I was at Costco, like I was gonna get stuff for the office, and I was like, I can't get some of those things because if I get them,
Yeah.
I'm going to want to consume those things,
Right.
right? And so, you know, it's tough. You know, like making better decisions is really hard. I mean, I say that like it's not hard to make decisions. There's a lot of excuses, but it is challenging.
It can be with our schedule and
Yeah,
the comfort level of just wanting to eat something good, fast,
Yeah.
you know?
It takes prep work. It really is a lot of work.
Oh,
And then imagine to have a bunch of little kids too. I mean, how many kids do you have, John?
3.
You have 3. Okay.
Yep.
So you're prepping for them and prepping for yourself. It does. It's like doing our finances. You have to, if you really want your finances to get in order, and Trey and I have been working and getting our finances in order.
I love budgeting. If you ever want to have a budgeting talk.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's my
Like,
favorite. Like I'm a nerd for budgeting.
No, my wife's
but
an
when it comes to like
accountant,
health budgeting, oh, terrible at it.
Elf budgeting?
No, like health, like meal prep. Like if I was I'm,
Oh, health.
like
Okay.
budgeting for my
Yeah,
own health,
and, like, tracking your
terrible.
calories
tracking my
and
calories.
macros.
Oh, no. Well, you can get that way, but you don't have to. It's really
Yeah.
just about making better food choices.
Sure.
You know, somebody who's eating Chinese food buffet or, you know, the
Yeah.
fast food or whatever, you're not going to be like, okay, you need this much carbs, this much fat, and this much protein, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah.
No, you're just like, can we do a Subway?
Yeah.
Maybe we could go
Let's go.
like, you know,
Yeah.
maybe a little baked Lays. I don't even think baked Lays are even better,
Yeah, no,
to be
they're
honest with
not.
you. But maybe we could just do a Subway. And then after they get Subway, you're like, now can I get you to eat a salad at Subway?
Yeah.
Okay, now can I get you to eat a salad, but don't get the meat, but bring
Definitely
your
not at
own
Subway.
meat?
This is all just sounding so terrible to me. I'm like,
Yeah,
I know,
it's
your
so
salad
hard.
is
I want
terrible.
a meatball sub toasted with extra cheese and bacon on top. Like,
So I would say half cheese and do half the bread. Like start
Yeah.
with that for a while.
yeah.
You know, just it's kind of like this food continuum. It's like you got red light, green light, and then or red light, yellow light, and then green light. And you've got a bunch of foods that are kind of in the red light category. That would be like your white bread, right? And then like yellow light would be a little better. Like would be the yellow wheat bread, excuse me. And then as you move into the green light, maybe instead of the bread, you're going to like spaghetti squash. Like, oh,
You know what? I like spaghetti squash.
it's good.
Yeah.
I bet you I could mix it in your spaghetti and you would never
I would not know. I mean, yes, I would not know. And I would know. But because I've had it enough and I've made it well. I
Yeah.
just don't prefer it over, you know, Skinner pasta or
Well,
Well,
who would?
sure.
You know, like-
I know, but when you're used to those things, then
Yeah.
it's you know,
it's
doesn't
behavioral.
even
It's behavioral
compare.
changes, and that's something that
But
you just have to get better
you're
at.
right. I mean, because I've tried to make a lot of those choices. Like me, I'm a huge ice cream junkie.
Mhm.
And so I've kind of switched to some of the keto ice creams. You know,
Yeah.
like Rebel is
Mhm.
not as keto as like Halo Top. And when I say keto, I'm just saying low or no carb, you know,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
added sugars, that kind of stuff. And then that way it's like, you know what? If I slay a pint of Halo Top ice cream one night, yeah, it's bad, but I would have slayed a pint of Bluebell, no problem. And that would have been, you know, 1,000+ calories and probably 100 and something grams of sugar. At least this way it's 350 calories and
Yeah.
it's less sugar or no sugar at all. And it's just a little healthier substitute. So like you said, it's just making some conscious changes where it's like, you know what? I'm not going to have the Big Mac every day with a McFlurry, with all this stuff every single day.
Mhm.
I'm going to start subbing some of those things out. Like, yeah, I may still have the Big Mac, but I didn't have the McFlurry. I didn't have the large fry. I didn't have all those other things. Like Chick-fil-A is a good example.
Yeah.
It's easy to get breakfast there.
It is.
So instead of just running there and getting, I mean, some days, man, I would get like the little burrito and a spicy sandwich and a hash brown and a large lemonade.
God,
and now
I'll
You
get,
know what?
Yeah.
Okay, listening to you guys and your routine, and you know what? I think I drank too much caffeine. I've done an episode on this. Like I'm actually like I can feel my brain working really fast. This was not good. This is an example of what drinking too much caffeine can
Looks
do.
like, yeah.
It's like I actually feel like a kind of a stutter. This is weird.
and she has
Yes.
2 ADHD guys sitting across
Yeah,
from
exactly.
her,
This should
and
be
then
exciting.
she's hopped up
Woo.
on caffeine.
Oh
Like
my
this is gonna be a
gosh.
great
Yeah.
episode.
Maybe I just had it too much on an empty stomach. Oh my gosh. Okay. So listening to y'all and your lifestyle and what you would prefer to eat. Have you ever thought about doing Weight Watchers?
I have
know-
actually done Weight Watchers.
Okay.
I'm not.
It is a very great program because they go through the they keep up with the nutritional science throughout the years. Nutrition has completely evolved through the
Yes.
years, and it's always changing. So with where y'all are, and you're not trying to like go into a bodybuilding competition,
Yeah.
you just want to make sure that you have enough calories to sustain your body as well as to sustain your muscle mass. And that's what you need. You're not working with food allergies at this that you know of right now. So it's
Yeah.
not about that. But Weight Watchers would be something that you can do pretty much anytime, anywhere from your phone, and you can eat pretty much wherever you want. And
Yeah,
you'll
it's actually
stay.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the little points that.
You'll have
Yeah, it's
weight
neat.
fall off. Eventually you'll plateau, and then you'll get to a point where you're like, okay, now you're like obsessed and you're starting to see like some muscle come through, and you're like, okay, how do I get that? Well, then you might need to make adjustments on protein, carbs, fat.
Yeah.
That's where something like a MyFitnessPal would come in. But yeah, I don't know. I would look into that. That
It's
just
actually
kind
it is
of
pretty cool. Like I did it like because at first I was like, there's like kind of a stigma like that, like Weight Watchers is like for grannies, you know?
Yeah.
for
Like
sure.
seriously. And but then I saw that there was like this new app version, and I was like, all right, it's like I don't know, something, a small subscription amount per month. It was very reasonable, and I signed up, and it was cool. Like it was like one of the few that I have enjoyed because it's like put whatever you have in there, but it can be from wherever, Chick-fil-A or whatever.
Yep.
And instead of it like looking at your macros, like calories, carbs, fat, I mean, it's looking at that, but I think kind of all behind the scenes.
Behind
it's
the
looking at
scenes,
it.
yeah.
It's just looking at points, and it kind of even gives you like an indication of like, hey, that meal was like a little bit like bad, or that meal was like a perfect meal, right? So you kind of have an idea of like, okay, maybe I should not do that kind of meal next time. I actually enjoyed it. I just wasn't. It was one of those consistency things again.
Yep.
And
But y'all doing it together.
yeah, it can be easier to definitely.
And the thing is that a lot of people don't realize this is like, oh, Weight Watchers is old and this and that, and you don't know your protein, carbs, and fat, but that is calculated in behind the scenes.
That's right. Yeah.
And you could have 100 calories of chicken breast versus 100 calories of maybe like a mini Snickers bar. Well, somebody who's just going for calories, they may go, I'm gonna have a Snickers bar. That
100 calories,
tastes
100
way
calories.
better.
Yeah, exactly.
But Weight Watchers not only takes into account protein, carbs, fat, but they're taking into account how your body is going to utilize it.
Yeah.
So a grilled chicken breast, 100 calories of a grilled chicken is going to last you a heck of a lot longer. Okay, so what voices in your mind have you heard speak over you
Ooh.
when you have been going through this time? And especially as y'all got closer to the 90 days, because after 90 days, things kind of start to fade off a little.
It's kind of like podcasting, right? You do
Yeah.
it for a while, and eventually you just want to quit. I feel like I've had a lot of voices here lately, especially. Work's been extra stressful. Some personal life stuff going on, that has been causing like extra amount of anxiety and stress that have caused me to like drink more, which I'm not really a drinker. I've never been a drinker, but like I've been drinking beer like a beer drinker, like after work and stuff, which is really weird. Because it's not me. Like I don't even like beer that much. And so it's like I'm starting to notice that stuff, and I'm like, okay, like I need to stop. Like this is because adding that is definitely not good on top of everything else I'm
Yeah.
already struggling
Empty
with.
calories.
Right. And so there's been that. I think the voices I've heard have kind of just been like, hey, like what's the point? Like
Mhm.
you're gonna end back up here in the same position again and later anyways, or like why does it even matter? Like those are the kind of things I feel like I hear in my head sometimes, and like I know the answer to those questions, but that doesn't mean I always like believe the other voice, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what.
The hard part for me is it always just comes down to convenience. I mean, when I'm working 48-hour shifts, 4 days off, but I never get 4 days off because there's mandatory overtime, and then there's beefy marketing, and there's OMG Event Co. And just all of these things that pile on top of each other. At the end of the day, it's an excuse, but it makes it so easy to just say that voice in the back of my head that just says, you're hungry, you haven't eaten yet, you missed breakfast or you missed lunch because you were running and doing this. And it's like, it's so quick and so easy to just run through McDonald's or run through a certain place and grab some nasty food that you don't really want, but it tastes so good and you'll just get so much of it and just kind of binge on it. I've had a lot of positive voices in my head lately. Okay. And I think a lot of it came from, this was something we spoke about on the episode we had you on Big Man Fitness podcast of just not feeling motivated. And I was looking at a picture of myself when I was weighing, 35 pounds heavier than I am now, and a picture of me now. And I was like, wow, there's such a stark difference here. But then all of a sudden I'm still feeling like crap. And it was like, why? And I kind of got in that dark place of, exactly like you said, like, well, what's the point? If I'm going to feel like this anyway, I might as well feel like this with a double quarter pounder in my, my stomach, And now lately it's just been a lot of positive of like, man, when I go do a workout or when I do a 500 meter row, I'm able to do it in 1:40 instead of, probably 3 minutes it would have taken me before. Or when I get in gear, I'm able to do it as quick as I'm supposed to. And when we go to a call and I'm picking something up and walking with it or dragging hose, I'm not exhausted like I was. And it's just a lot of people who were doubters before about my weight. I hear their voices of approval, like, hey, you're looking great. You're doing better. Like I can see a difference. And that just kind of is what's been sticking out to me lately.
That's been encouraging for me throughout this has been like actually you and Trey coming into the office. Most of the people that are in my circle see me often enough that like they don't notice the changes, which is fine. Like I don't expect that they would unless it was extreme, right? But there's not a lot of external encouragement that comes from my inner circle very often, not because they don't want to encourage me. I just don't think they visually see the change.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like pretty deep, but like I'm way more apt to let myself down, and I'm okay with that. I'm like okay with letting myself down than I am with letting other people down.
Yeah.
Like, which is why accountability for me is so important. Like, it's with like clients and work. It's like, I don't want to let a client down, right? Like I have an expectation, they have expectations from me and I want to like meet up, to, like live up to that standard. But with myself, my bar's a little low, just messed up, but like just is. I'm like, okay, like I'll give up on me, but I won't give up on someone else. But I think that, excuse me, I don't know. That's for having you guys come in and provide those like words of affirmation and encouragement for me has been like very impactful because I've not changed a lot on the scale, which has been very discouraging. Like we've talked about this, like that's, we're having those open conversations.
You've definitely put on muscle.
Yeah. I think I have.
I think you have. I can tell up here.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
See,
good.
you've put on.
See, like that's the kind of stuff I need to know. Cause it's like,
you're looking more square in your jaw and you're putting on weight up top. And then I can tell that you've lost weight through here, and then you've lost through your face too.
Yeah, because John's got these real clear pictures, and I'm like, F you, John, because it's very clear. Like his is like a clear.
Oh, there's
weight
no
difference.
doubt. I mean, I had like a big bulge down here, a round face.
Yeah,
it was bad.
And I'm not seeing those changes, and like you said, you're more motivated, like in another way, like more like being able to do things and making sure you're healthy for your family. Like I just don't care about those things as much. Personally, like for me, like I am motivated by those like external, like, do I feel confident taking my shirt off, like outside? Like, do my arms look good in a t-shirt? Do I feel comfortable in a dress shirt that I'm about to wear to a meeting? Can I go to my closet and grab a shirt and it not be like, like doing that weird thing where fat guys have that problem where the shirt does this and the buttons like, what I'm talking about?
Right above the belly.
I love that feeling, putting on a pair of jeans that I haven't been able to wear in a while because that button, I was trying to do the thing like my mom used to do where you're hopping on the bed and pulling it up and trying to suck in. And those are little victories where it's like, this was tight whenever we ordered it, and it's not now. But I'll tell you, just for our ADHD and caffeine moments here, a sidetrack that I've had too, is another battle we have faced is exactly that, where it's like, I want to brag about everything that I've seen and feel. Yeah. But then I'm fighting that battle of how is it going to make Andrew feel because he's upset. He's not seeing the results. Yeah. And then in your head, I'm sure it's, I want to be happy for John. But on the same token, I'm like, screw John because he's getting all the results I want, and it's like,
And that's hard in an
another
accountability.
it's another demotivator.
But he's also doing a lot more physical activity than you are on the days that he's
That's right.
He's
yeah.
working.
And I'm a lot more sedentary because
Right.
I'm working at the desk or whatever else.
Yeah.
But like we have our little Apple Watches and we are
when I don't leave
neck
it on
to-
the charger at home.
Yeah. We're usually pretty neck to neck. Like I try to burn, like I do a high calorie burn workout, or I try to go walking if I didn't like get through my points for the day or my calorie goal for the day.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think he is doing more physical labor throughout the day, which is naturally, obviously muscle burns fat. So he's probably putting on more muscle, burning fat. I'm picking up muscle. Like I went and did the in-body scan yesterday, and it was like pretty impressive how much muscle that I had. But my water weight's absurd. It's like I think I have like 127 pounds of water weight right now, which means I'm probably eating products that are high in sodium and I'm holding on to weight, not drinking enough water, right?
Yeah, which is so
which I know I'm not
counterintuitive,
drinking
but
enough
it's
water.
true. Yeah,
and so it's those little things that like I know I need to. It's all about one, setting realistic expectations with yourself about what you can and can't do, and what you're willing to not do, right? Because I think at the end of the day, you have to be open with the fact that like there's some things I'm just not going to do, and that's okay.
Yep.
But what else am I going to do? And the other thing is being consistent about building those habits. Like I know that if I just track my meals, or if I meal prep, or if I use the Weight Watchers app every day for 2 or 3 weeks, then it will become a part of my routine.
Yeah.
Right? Like we are creatures of habit. And
Yeah.
if we can build those habits, then I think we'll be more apt to stick it through the long way.
There's
It's
a lot of
just
people who
hard.
talk about 12 weeks being the special number,
Yeah.
75 days. Some
Yeah.
people say 21 days. I don't think 21 days. I think it's more like going through seasons
Yeah.
of like almost like 6 months, and it has to be the default. Like
Yes.
like it is the default. Like, of course I'm going to work out today. It's
Like brushing your teeth. Like it needs to be
Yes.
that like ingrained into your system.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think 90 days was kind of the magic number for
For
me
you.
personally, from what we've been doing this year.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Where now, I'm not even gonna lie, I dread working out. I hate it. There's nothing fun about it to
Mhm.
me. Most of the time, I'm like a screaming 5-year-old throwing a tantrum when Andrew's like, "Get in the car, John. We're going to work
Seriously.
out." And I'm like, "Bro, I don't like. We have reasons not to. Like, we can just go here instead,
he's
you know."
bad.
But I'm to the point now where even though I still have those feelings, I catch myself like yesterday. We didn't do anything day one because we were I say day one of my tour, my 48-hour shift. First 24 hours, we were so busy with calls and public relations events and all this stuff. We didn't have time to work out.
Mhm.
We did, but we justified it.
Yeah.
But day two, my buddy walked in. He's like, "All right, what are we going to do about our fat bodies today?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't want to do anything." He's like, "Yeah, me either. But we should." And he's like, "Yeah." And I actually felt myself, and I'm going to throw up saying this, but I felt myself missing the fact that I haven't been to 9 round in quite a bit.
Yeah.
And, we work out at work, but I haven't done that style workout. And I was like, I kind of miss it a little bit. I'm not
Yeah.
going to lie. Like,
Yeah.
we need to go out and do something today.
You'll
So
never
we did.
regret doing the workout, but
Right.
you'll regret
Afterwards.
not.
Yeah.
So, and I
Absolutely.
wanted to tell you, one of the best things I was ever told is to remember that weight comes off like layers of the onion. So it may come off on you in one place, and it may come off on you in another
Yeah,
place.
for me. Yeah.
It's just
definitely.
going to be very different, but it's layers. It is like
Yeah.
the whole body. And some areas your body may love to have body fat and his doesn't. And so it's like,
Yeah, I always shed it in the legs first for me, which is awesome because like I have a stronger core, which makes for an easier workout, but it's not where you want to lose. I want to lose this neck. I want to lose these man boobs. Like, I want to lose this belly.
yeah.
But like legs for me, my legs will just pick up a lot of muscle really quick and the fat will disappear almost.
Did you play
overnight.
football or something?
No.
Did you play any sports?
No, but I
that were-
walked on my tippy toes whenever I was a kid. So you've
Kinda
probably
like
never
him.
seen my calf muscles, but they're insane. Like,
I think I have.
yeah,
seen
they're kind of absurd. Just because I used to like walk around just like
like
Yep.
on your
like,
tippy
like
toes.
just
the
like
same
doing
thing.
this
But I didn't know
business.
that could be dangerous. I actually have a
neither.
niece and nephew that do that all the time. Okay, well, this is a perfect time to segue into this really quick, and I'm going to go through this somewhat quick, but I think this will also help you too. I chose, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. I chose 7 people whom I have known for at least 15 years, and every single one of them have been consistent in their size. You could tell they're just not yo-yo dieters. Each of them are over 40. I think over 40. I think maybe Alicia, the last one, is not over 40. But they are all 35 and older. Let me say
Yeah.
that. And they've just been consistent. You can just tell they look healthy. So whatever they're doing, they do it right and they do it consistent and safe. So first is Dr. Chase Banks. And if you're looking on the screen, you can see, if you're looking on YouTube, Dr. Chase Banks is right there in the middle. This is our chiropractor, and he also does functional nutrition. He does DNA testing, genetic testing, all types of good stuff. He is awesome, and he has been consistent through the years. He told me his workout and what he eats. So he works out at 5 a.m. Yeah, he's dedicated.
No thanks. Yeah.
5
See,
a.m.
that's why. No.
He works out well, but he works all day. He works so hard. He spends at least 30 minutes to an hour with each client.
Wow.
So he's like
That's awesome.
stacked up. See, most chiropractors are like
In and out.
snap, crackle, pop, but not Chase. If you come in there with a sore neck, he's not going to just crack your neck and thank you, that's it. They're actually going to warm up the muscles with external heat. They're going to massage it out. They're going to help through the range of motion. And then if you want to be adjusted at the end, then they help with that.
That's cool.
So he's a blood type O. And I said their blood types. I asked them for their blood types because sometimes we might see a pattern, although I didn't really see a pattern. But anyway, he's a blood type O. He eats, before his workout, 8 ounces of beet juice. So beet juice has a really great way of oxygenating your blood. So a lot of people will go and get the crap like nitrogen, NO explode stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This stuff is terrible for your liver and your kidneys. But beet juice, you cannot say anything bad about it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Nobody got fat off beet juice or bananas. I'm sorry. All that stuff, I see that and I'm like, I'm sorry, but that did not come from bananas. They're like,
Yeah,
stop
exactly.
eating bananas, whatever. Okay. So beet juice is really great for a pre-workout. And then after his workout, he has some sort of plant-based smoothie where it's a 4-to-1 carb to protein ratio. So that means that there's 4 carbs to every protein. So, and then daily water intake is 1.5 gallons, which I've been working to get 1 gallon. And oh my gosh, it is so hard.
Yeah.
I have had a hard time with it. So he does 1.5 gallons. Okay. Next I have Erin Schreier, and she is a personal trainer out of Lakeway, Texas. And she also is a Scout and Cellar wine rep and sells Juice Plus. And those are really great, like vegetable gummies. And I can't have those in my house because I will eat them all. They're so good. Although
Yeah.
I've been thinking about getting them again. And she works out at about 10 a.m. or 1 p.m. So her blood type, she doesn't know. And she personal trains. So it just depends on her schedule. But what she eats before her workout is, she works out an hour and a half after a meal. So she actually has to have a meal.
Okay.
And then she waits 1.5 hours and then she works out. She does steel cut oats with raw honey and walnuts, or some sort of paleo bar, perfect bar is what she said, or some sort of paleo granola. And then after workout, she said usually tacos.
Yes.
So she loves
Our type.
tacos. And you can see she's absolutely beautiful. I actually sent her a message the other day and I was like, Erin, I don't know many people who get like more beautiful with age, but holy cow, like you are way more beautiful with age. Not to say that you weren't beautiful before, but wow, she's amazing. And her husband obviously is Mr. Fit too with his
Absolutely.
6-pack. But her paleo tacos, basically what she's doing is she's having tacos that have like, good lettuce and good lean meat and not a crazy loaded with the cheese and the sauces and all that.
Yeah.
But the shell is like probably like a siete paleo tortilla of some
Nice.
kind. And then she drinks her body weight in ounces
Okay.
per day. Okay, next is Andrea Williams. And Andrea Williams is a Beachbody coach. And she has been absolutely consistent for as long as I've known her. I've known her probably 20 years. She teaches fitness classes. She posts on her Instagram and Facebook all the time, just different workouts that she's doing. She sells workout programs that are Beachbody workout programs. So you can, like the P90X and all that kind of stuff. So that way you can have a program to do at your house if you can't get to the gym. And what Andrea does is she works out between 9 a.m. and noon. She's an O negative. She does not like to eat before her workout, so she's fasted. And she eats after her workout a protein and her carb. So if you notice, Chase also does a protein and a carb. in the smoothie.
Yeah.
And every single one of these people that I asked, nobody is eating a fat after post-workout.
Yeah.
There's no fat post-workout on any of these people. So she does a protein and a carb, usually a fruit source is what she said. So maybe like a shake and then grapefruit, or maybe boiled eggs and berries. She's got some, now I know why she's so dang fit. I'm like, a boiled egg and berries. Like I could
Exactly.
eat so much after a workout. So she must have it like right then.
Yeah.
Right then. And by the way, if you're working out so hard that you are not hungry for like over an hour, you've stressed the hell out of your body. You got to tone it down a notch. You're creating too much stress. You should be wanting to eat like within 15 minutes after your workout. Okay. And then she does
Always.
she does like a veggie omelet, possibly too. Her daily body weight is half her body weight as a minimum. So whatever her body weight is, I don't know. She's small. She's probably like, she's got muscle though, probably 120. So her goal would be 60 ounces. That's half of that. So more water on days with higher intensity training, or if it's that hot Texas humid sweaty heat.
Yeah.
And then next we got Danny D. No, that's not Danny D. That's Heather. I'll go down to Heather.
Heather.
So my my things got mixed up. Okay. So Heather Robertson is the owner of Pure Bar in the Woodlands, as well as Hughes Landing and Alden Bridge, and now College Station. So
Wow,
congratulations, Heather.
Yeah.
She's co-owner with Amy. And Heather has always been consistent. She kicked my butt in fitness classes. And whenever I worked at Pure Bar and took classes, I know you know what? She used to play soccer. She played soccer all around the world, and she's always done amazing. And she has a program called Master My Macros. So she helps people to eat a program that fits with protein, carbs, and fat. So to sustain their workouts as well as, the everyday. So Heather likes to do a fasted cardio or a fasted workout. She does that for her health. She doesn't really do it for weight loss. So some people do the intermittent fasting because they're trying to lose weight. She does it for her health because it is wonderful to do fasting as long as you can, as long as you're eating what you're supposed to eat within your eating window.
Not starving.
Yes,
fasting.
exactly. And so she does the fasted workouts. And then after workouts is usually going to be about 40% protein, 30% carbs, and 30% fat. So actually, I lied earlier. She does do a little bit of fat after. So, but probably because she's so fasted for so long.
Yeah, she needs to eat a full.
Yeah, she's
meal.
just ready for the whole thing. And then she drinks half her body weight in ounces. All right, so the next one. There's Danny D. All right, so Danny Davis has been my trainer. He's the one on the right. That's his son on the left. And Danny is a big dude. He is, and he's been into fitness for years.
He needs to be on Big Man Fitness podcast.
Yeah, he's a big man.
Yeah, he's awesome. He trained Trey and I for a long time, and he trained Leslie and I for a while. So, and I would love to have him back at some point. So Danny works out at about 9 a.m. He has clients that he trains in the morning early. He doesn't know his blood type. He eats oatmeal and egg whites. So I notice his eating is like super like the old school way, which is like still actually applies.
Yeah.
And so he's basically oatmeal and egg whites, eats after the workout, 8 ounces of protein, a cup of rice, and a serving of green beans.
Yeah.
So look, let me tell you guys, what he's doing is eating so simple.
Yeah.
Okay. That is simple. You could easily on Sunday make up 6 chicken breasts, put them in a container. Make 6 cups of rice, stick them in the container, and 6 cups of vegetables and put them in the container. Now you have 6 post meals. You can eat them cold. If you are really, really wanting to progress, you can eat them cold. If you need variety, and Trey and I just talked about this 2 weeks ago, if you want variety, instead of making 6 chicken breasts, maybe do 3 chicken breasts and 3 pieces of lean steak.
Yeah.
Makes sense? So, and then y'all can also cook for each other and kind of mix and match, help each other out there.
Oh,
Yeah. So think about
Good for
that.
you, John.
That is that. But all it takes is a
Right.
little bit of preparation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And see, his wife, she's amazing. She actually does a lot of the cooking. So she'll make a ton of those meals. And then them for the week. So you can just make them for the week, or you can make them and just stick them in your freezer and then just grab them out here and there.
Yeah.
So
sure.
that's what Trey and I are so over the top sometimes. And one time we made 75 meals.
Wow.
Yeah, we made 75 for individual
How many did y'all
freezer
actually
meals.
use? Oh, they were in
Well,
the freezer.
Avery left the freezer door open.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. That was before Trey did a lot of emotional work, and that was not a good day.
Yeah.
But you know,
I feel him,
our
though.
mistake at that time was that we used way too much ghee when we were cooking.
Yeah.
So when it got cold, I actually saw how much ghee there was on there coated on the vegetables.
Oh, like a lot.
It was a lot. Yeah, I
Yeah.
did it was way too much. So I was like, kind of felt a little funky with it. Okay. So, and then let's see, Danny drinks 1.5 gallons of water a day. So yeah, that would y'all.
I think that one's probably the biggest takeaway. I mean, I know how many ounces of water I'm supposed to be drinking, but when I really think about it, I might have 2 bottles to 3 bottles of water a day, and that's all.
Holy sweet mother of pearl.
And
Yeah, you
and
need
not
more.
just like, and I'm not drinking anything else. Like it's not like I'm drinking soda instead or beer instead. It's like I might have like 3 waters a day. Like no wonder
Yeah.
I'm holding on to so much
Yeah.
water weight.
There you go.
I probably like shed 10 pounds just by like giving myself 2 weeks of solid gallon of water a day.
And
I
I
drink a lot.
I just picked
do
up.
not.
Yeah. You probably drink a ton of water.
I have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll literally die.
Yeah.
Like
You can pick up a 1/2 gallon container
Yeah.
at Walmart. There's one by the what is the oh gosh, I can't remember her
I
name.
bought the big giant one.
There's a hydro jug.
I bought
Okay,
that
yeah.
one. So I just need to use it. But
Yeah.
I have it. It's by my bed actually.
I hated the way that people look carrying around a jug. Like, oh, you're such a chump.
Such a bro.
Yeah.
You're such a dork. But then I'm like, I've been carrying around a Pioneer Woman. Sorry,
Oh, yeah,
Pioneer
Pioneer
Woman, and it's all flowery. So you know,
Nice. That's cute.
but
I'll get you one.
Thanks,
it
please.
really, really, really does help. And
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time getting down 1 gallon. Okay. So the next one, go ahead and go to the next person. That would be Krista. Okay. So Krista is on the right. They both look exactly the same. So Krista are wearing the same clothing. Krista is the blonde. Krista is a brain cancer survivor. She owns F45, which is functional training for 45 minutes. And it's pretty much all HIIT training, but they're building strength. They're building endurance. Lots of cardio involved. Great workout. She owns the F45 off 1488 in Magnolia, 242 in the Woodlands, and Sterling Ridge opens up on May 7th.
Oh, nice.
She
Congratulations.
eats during the morning. That's all she said was morning. She doesn't know her blood type. She eats before her workout an apple and a protein shake. After her workout, some sort of fast digesting carb. And she said bagel or toast, and that's it. So, and she does all HIIT workouts, and she drinks 3 liters of water a day. And that's pretty much all I know there. So you can see like every body, each person has their own thing that they kind of do, but you can kind of see a trend. You can see that they are eating lean proteins and they're eating good carbs. Okay, next one. I think this is the last one. Okay. And this is Alicia, and she's actually at Finish First. And this is my husband's trainer currently. And she was MMA fighter.
Oh, nice.
And you can tell she's
Yeah,
just,
she's got like that, like
she's just got the
lean,
look.
mean look.
I know.
Yeah.
She is so incredibly intelligent with her corrective exercise, her functional training. Like the exercises that she has Trey do are so they're so intricate, but very creative.
Yeah.
It's just she just sees the human body and sees how it moves, and she can see when something is off and how it could be, completely opposite side of the body down at the foot that's torn or
Yeah. Wow.
or pulled, and how it affects your upper left shoulder or some crazy thing like that. She's actually training for the Murph. That's why she's got that
Her
vest
best
on. So Alicia trains early to mid-morning. She's an AB positive blood type. She eats before her workout protein meal 2 to 3 hours prior. Okay, so she says she eats 2 to 3 hours prior. I'm like, you must be eating really early.
Yeah.
Yeah, really early. But then she eats a protein shake 10 to 15 minutes before her workout. And then after her workout, or even halfway through her workout. Yeah, she's
Damn,
eating.
what kind of workouts are you having?
I know. Well, no, this is
Intermission for lunch?
but this goes to show that like you can eat a lot of food. Like
Yeah.
if you like to eat,
Yeah.
then you are going to be eating you can eat a lot.
yeah.
And it's just you're changing up what you're eating and changing your brain and how it associates food and what your taste buds want. So she eats sometimes in the middle of her workout half a rice cake and some berries or half a banana during her workout. So she pumps it though. I mean, she's working out hard and she's not crazy beefy. She's very toned and she looks fantastic. And then cardio is more conditioning based. So really her cardio is just to kind of keep her body conditioned and moving, and she's not trying to like win a marathon or anything. So that's more of a protein shake prior and then some berries after. So again, that quick digesting carbohydrate. She drinks 75 to 100 ounces of water a day, which would be, there's no way that she's 200 pounds.
It's almost her body weight in ounces.
Yeah. She's drinking probably enough water to sustain her workouts, but also for her body, but also for her workouts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I know she does use a sauna too. So she's probably
that's
having to
drain.
replace it there. Yeah. So, all right. Well, thank y'all so much. I hope that you
Yeah, this is
enjoyed
awesome.
it today. And I really wanted to get your thoughts on this because sometimes people who have been into fitness for a really long time and they're in a habit of it, they need to kind of hear the other side and kind of have some compassion there and understand like what's going through other people's minds
For sure.
as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Y'all have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to another episode of According to the Cassels with Amy and Trey. Be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. To stay up to date with the Cassels, follow Amy on Instagram at @acassels. Until next time, have faith, enjoy life, and love abundantly.